What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope all doing well. So let's start off today's show with there was some crazy things that happened in the golf world. Of course, as we speak, the PGA Championship is going on. It is day two. Scottie Scheffler was the best golfer in the world heading into this tournament. Had some drama, to say the least, leading up to this day two of the PGA Championship. I woke up this morning and my phone's blowing up. I'm like, what's going on in the sports world? And I did not think it was going to be this. I was thinking maybe it was something about, is the playoffs going on, the NBA, NHL. Was there a big offseason movement, rumor that's going around? But no, it was Scottie Scheffler was arrested this morning. So apparently there was a misunderstanding between him and a police officer, which led to him being arrested. So the officer involved, his name is Brian Gillis. So Scheffler was in his car. He was driving into the Valhalla golf course, the golf club, which is where the PGA Championship is. So Gillis was dressed in his police uniform, his Louisville Metro Police Department uniform, and he had one of those reflective rain jackets sometimes you see the officers wear, or you might see construction workers or crossing guards wear. Because I guess at 5 a.m. this morning, there was a really unfortunate incident. A shuttle bus struck and killed like one of the vendors over there. And, the Scheffler and all these guys were scheduled to tee off at 8:45 in the morning. So now, they had to have all these extra security to make sure they can get all these golfers in, on time and smoothly. So there was extra security. So the officer, Brian Gillis, he stopped Scottie Scheffler as he was going in, and he was going to give him some instructions of I guess where to go, I guess. And I guess Scheffler did not comply, and he just sped off, and he bumped. I guess he nicked the officer actually, and he damaged his pants that he was wearing. He had to go to the hospital, and he had abrasions on his wrist and as well as his knee. And he was in pain, and he was swelling up. So he kind of he accidentally injured the officer, and eventually a cop chased him down, and he was screaming out to get out of the car. And then once he did, he shoved Scheffler up against the car and arrested him. And Scottie was charged with second-degree assault of a police officer, third-degree criminal mischief, reckless driving, and disregarding traffic signals from an officer who was directing traffic, which is considered a Class C felony. The assault charge for the second degree was considered a Class C felony. The other were misdemeanors. This was very early this morning because he was released pretty quickly. I don't know exactly what time this happened, but it was pretty early in the morning. I mean, if his tee time was at 8:45 in the morning, he probably got there. I'll say lower than that. He was released without bail under his own recognizance at 8:40 in the morning, and then they pushed his tee time back to 10:08 in the morning. And he was able to get to the course on time for that, and he actually burned his first hole, and then as well as two of his first five. So crazy story. It appeared to be just a complete misunderstanding. I think they were just having extra security because of the incident that happened at 5 a.m. where unfortunately the vendor was struck and killed by a shuttle bus, and I guess Scottie, thought the whole thing, you know who I am. I'm the best golfer in the world. Why else would I be in a PGA sponsored car driving into the golf club while the PGA Championship is going on? Obviously, only a player will be doing that. I guess the officer was just trying to give him some instructions, but I think there was a misunderstanding there. He thought the cop was being well, why are you here? All the officer wanted to do is just give him simple instructions, which basically do his job. So Scottie was kind of just F off, I'm not doing this right now. It's already in the morning. I want to just prepare for my tee time. So he just basically said F you and just sped off, and he ended up hitting the officer, and eventually he got chased down. He probably eventually realized, oh crap, I'm in the middle of a police chase. I just hit an officer with my car, and I guess once they detained him, they probably sorted everything out. He released a statement. Kind of he said, "Oh, I understand why the extra security because of the incident. I send my condolences to that family, and I didn't mean to hurt anybody." And his lawyer said, he didn't assault the officer. He's gonna get acquitted of everything. He tore court without a problem. Just crazy morning for Scottie Scheffler. But he was able to get to a 10:08 tee time and buried two of his first 5 holes. So clearly didn't affect them that much. So wild story out of the golf world. Start off this morning. All right, let's go into the NHL playoff. The New York Rangers have defeated the Carolina Hurricanes, beat the Hurricanes last night 5-3. They win Game 6. They win that series in 6 games. They advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. Incredible game. Hurricanes are up 3-1 going to the third period. Rangers score 4 in the third period to come from behind to win 5-3. Chris Kreider have a natural hat trick in the third period. Scored 3 goals in the third period to lead the Rangers to victory. Just an incredible performance by Chris Kreider. That should go down as one of the best individual performances in Rangers history, at least in the playoffs, to me. Hat trick in 1 period. Apparently, he went into the locker room and said, "Guys, I got this." Just something like I got this. Like, I'm gonna put it on my back, and he did. He's such a great player, Chris Kreider. He's been there for the Rangers for a very long time. Been there for his whole career. That was a top prospect. He came up when under Tortorella, and then we gave him a chance, and Tortorella they got him out of there a bunch. The next coach they brought was Lane Vigneault, or since they've had him, then Gerard Gallant, then they had Peter Laviolette. He's really blossomed these last years into one of the best goal scorers in the National Hockey League. A couple of years ago, he had 50 goals, one of the very few years to score 50 in a season. Had another great year last year. The year before the 50-goal year, he had a great year. He's had another phenomenal year this year. He's one of the best goal scorers in the National Hockey League. Great player. Now 33 years old. I thought should have been the captain. I don't have a problem with Jacob Trouba, like as other Ranger fans do, other fans do. But Kreider is definitely one of the leaders on this hockey team. Great player, and he put the team on his back in Game 6. So the Raiders win 5-3. They move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. They will play the winner of Florida and Boston. Game 6 is tonight. And then Vancouver Canucks against the Edmonton Oilers. Canucks win 3-2. Great game, back and forth. Oilers were up 2-1 after a period. Vancouver tied it going into the third, and the Canucks score with about 32 seconds left in the third period. It was JT Miller, who was another former Ranger, to give the Canucks the lead. And that was, of course, the game-winning goals. The Canucks take Game 5, and they lead that series 3-2. Crazy story if that guy, Solovus, whatever his name is, the young goalie. That's crazy. Their starting goalie, Dr. Demko, was a best in the finals. One of the best goalies in the National Hockey League. Gets hurt. They go to Casey Smith, who was the backup. He struggled, and he gets hurt. So they have to go to this third-string kid, Solovus, whatever his name is, Arturas Solovus. I'm saying his name wrong. I apologize. And he's come in, and he's been phenomenal. He's played really well for them. He's kept them in the series. Now they're up 3-2. The whole question is, do you go back to Demko? I may have talked about this briefly yesterday. I forgot. But this is the thing. Actually, no, I think that I might have only talked about it off camera, not on camera. If this kid is playing right now, if he gives him the best chance to win, he's playing his ass off. I don't know how you take the kid out. The whole thing in NHL playoffs, you need a hot goalie. If you have a hot goalie, you got a shot to win a Stanley Cup. It's simple as that. And look, if Demko's 100% healthy, let's say Game 6, he's up 5 goals, doesn't play well, and Demko's 100% healthy. I think he go with Demko. He's one of the best goalies in the league. If you don't know what you're going to get out of this young kid, I think you got to go back to Demko. But regardless of the result, if this kid plays well in Game 6, he has to either start Game 7 or Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Like, he has to. Until this kid falters and Demko is 100% healthy, he should play. That's my take on that. Then the NBA playoffs, the Timberwolves destroyed the Denver Nuggets 115-70 by 45. 27 points for Edwards in the game as they force Game 7. That should be a phenomenal game. I believe that is tomorrow night. The Timberwolves cruise in Game 6. But, all right, so before we close out, I want to talk about the New York Jets schedule. In terms of just came out and do a little bit, the NFL schedule as time goes on, the next days and weeks, like I said yesterday. One thing about their schedule, week 1 is a tough matchup. They're on the road against the San Francisco 49ers on Monday Night Football. It does not sit well with me that last year Aaron Rodgers towards Achilles in the 4th play of the season, ending with Jets season ended before it really even got started via being sacked by Aaron Floyd. And now they're once again playing on Monday Night Football. They're once again facing a really good defensive line. Leonard Floyd now in the 49ers. The Bills did not resign him. He signed with the 49ers in the offseason. That feels eerie to me. To me, the NFL says we hate the Jets. Yeah, we're doing this for a reason. It's not on that horrible MetLife turf. But how he's got a better offensive line on paper. His left tackle last year was DeJuan Brown, who had nothing left last year. Now it's going to be probably Tyron Smith, who, when healthy, is an All-Pro. They also just drafted Oli Fashanu in the 1st round, who's got a chance to be one of the best offensive linemen in the league, in my opinion. He's got a chance to be a great player. He's the left tackle of the future. Tyron Smith is older and only on a 1-year contract. So that should help. What happened last year was borderline witchcraft and just, the Jets being cursed. But just, that doesn't sit well with me. That was not a fan of that drawing. It scared me, I'm not going to lie. That's going to be a tough game. There's so many storylines with Robert Saleh facing his former team he was defensive coordinator of, and Rodgers on Monday Night Football again. Leonard Floyd is going to be on the other team again. To me, it's just setting up to be a disaster. I'm hoping it doesn't happen, but because it's the Jets, I just assume the worst at this point. So I'm not loving that. Another really tough game they have is Week 9 on Thursday Night Football at home against the Houston Texans. They surprisingly beat the Texans last year, late in the season. Zach Wilson had, one of his only good games of his career. And but Texans are really, really good this year. All those young guys got another year under their belt. Ryan's got a year under his belt. That whole coaching staff is basically back. Bobby Sloan not take a head coach up. He's back. Now you add, Stephon Diggs and all these pieces you add, Daniel Hunter and all these guys you add on both sides of the ball. Texans are one of the best teams in the NFL. To me, I would be shocked if they're not in the AFC Championship, to be honest, against the Kansas City Chiefs. That's a game on a short week. And out at home, but traveling back from the middle of the week before on a short week against a really good team. That's going to be a really tough game for them to win, to me. In the division, it's not as stacked as it's been the last 2 years. Buffalo lost a lot of pieces in the offseason. Even Miami lost a lot of pieces in the offseason. The Middle's got a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback, a really young roster. So it's a completely new era for them. And the Jets have a really strong roster, but still, there's some issues with the coaching staff of Robert Saleh, who, as you know, I am very low on compared to other fans and other people. Now there's rumors they were trying to hire another coach to serve the ball in Nathaniel Hackett, and it's because they're concerned about him as their offensive coordinator. He's only had success when Aaron Rodgers has been his quarterback, which he is now. But he's got to stay healthy. Rodgers is 40 years old, coming off a torn Achilles. Will the offensive line distance be enough if they stay healthy? Just so many things that if everything goes right, this team could be 12-5 and a Super Bowl contender. But if things go wrong, they can be out of the playoffs again. And now you're like, what the hell do we do? Do you fire the coach? Do you fire the GM? Does Rodgers have anything left? What do you do? You spend all this money on the offensive line. You spend all this money on Aaron Rodgers. You've been going with this. Robert Saleh's been here 4 years. Nathaniel Hackett isn't working out, but if Rodgers is going to be here, Hackett's got to be here. It's this whole mess. Rest of our schedule. Tennessee is a game that I think they should win. It's on the road. I don't think that'll be a walk in the park by any means. Tennessee did some nice things this offseason. You added a lot of weapons for Will Levis. You added Tony Pollard at the running back spot. At the receiver spot, you had Calvin Ridley. Then you just added Tyler Boyd, who reelected Brian Callahan, a coaching hire that I like. You drafted a good offensive lineman in Latham. Now Bill Callahan coach Milan. You added Jerry on the other side of the ball, shut down corner. They did a lot of nice things in the offseason Tennessee Titans. I'm not sure if they're going to win a ton of games right now, but they are set up for success. If this kid Will Levis is a halfway decent quarterback, they're in a very good spot with Tennessee Titans. I know the AFC South is pretty tough. You got Houston Texans are going to be a great team for a while. Looks like Indianapolis appears to be a young team that's on the rise. You got Jacksonville. I don't know what they are, but if nothing else, they'll be very competitive team, if nothing else. And then you have Tennessee, who is another young team on the rise, it seems like. So it's a very competitive division, but they're in a good spot. I think they should win that game. They're a better team. Levis is still really, really young. Levin, rookie head coach, a very young quarterback. Denver should be win. That Denver team is really bad. You have a coach who doesn't have the patience to develop a young quarterback. The best quarterback on the roster is probably Bo Nix, who they reached on in the first round. Their roster is just so bad. And Minnesota, it's a game they should win. They're going to have Sam Darnold, the former Jet, or it's going to be a rookie, J.J. McCarthy, who's pretty raw. That defense can't stop anybody. That line isn't great either. So that's a game that I think they should definitely win. It's definitely be Arizona on the road. Arizona's a team they'll be a little bit better, but you never know. We don't know what we're getting out of Kyler. Marvin Harrison is incredible. That's obviously a no-brainer to the 4th overall pick. They'll probably be a little bit better, and look at that NFC West again. The 49ers should be phenomenal again, obviously, at least in the regular season. But Seattle went 9-8 last year. I don't know how much better they are than they were last year. I don't know if they're that much worse, but they're probably about as good. And the Rams, you lost Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald retired. That alone, you're a lot worse than that. Obviously, you draft the not Byron, he went to Seattle. You draft Jared Verse, which I like in the first round. You finally had a first-round pick for the first time in like 8 years. Stafford can still play. You draft Blake Corum. That offense should score a lot of points. But still, just losing Aaron Donald, I cannot get past that. That secondary was really bad last year. Did basically nothing to really address it. It just, I still not sure how much longer Sean McVay is going to coach. A couple of years ago, it looked like he was going to retire. For a couple of off seasons. He's still. I don't even know if he's 40 years old, but the guy, he's extremely wealthy. He's got a great personality. Amazon or somebody will throw a lot of money at him. Maybe do what Sean Payton did. Take a year off, recharge, spend some time with your family, go do some broadcasting or some analysis for a year. Something he clearly will be very good at. He's an incredible knowledge for the game. He's got a great personality. He's a youngerish guy, so we can kind of relate to some of the younger generation of fans in the NFL. Take a year or two off, and then whenever you want to coach again, someone will throw you a ton of money and probably make you the highest paid coach in the National Football League to go back to coaching in a year or two, whatever. So, I think they definitely should win. And that is a bunch of coin flips to me. Going to the top of the schedule, you look at the division. New England, look, the complete new era, so I don't think it's like a foregone conclusion. New England's going to beat them. It's going to beat them. Bill's not there anymore. Obviously, Tom Brady hasn't been there in quite a few years. They finally broke through last year in a really meaningless game. In one of the worst football games I've ever watched. That Week 18 game, just Patriots. It was ugly. It was hard to watch. I was at that point. I was like, all right, their draft position won't be affected that much. Probably either way. They already probably won too many games. They probably should have, to be honest. So, please, can we beat the Patriots one time? Can we get, in Bills, most likely ends up being his last game. Yeah, feeling it was going to be his last game. Send him off with a loss. You guys know last year, right? He did on my show before. Of course, we're on the Pirates spot together. He's obviously a big Patriots fan. He wanted the Patriots to lose because he wanted them to have the highest pick possible. Because if they lost, they would be locked into that third pick, so they can probably get the top quarterback in this year's Splash Drake May. But if they won, they would have dropped in the draft, and they probably would have gotten the quarterback they wanted. So he was going to be rooting for the Patriots to lose. I was thinking, dude, you want them to lose? He was like, yeah. I was like, the game means nothing. Which I wouldn't. Honestly, if I was a Patriots fan, I'd probably want them to lose too. I'd be like, look, we haven't lost to them since 2015. They can get one, and it benefits us. And it benefits us for losing. That was ugly, but they should at least get one against the Patriots. They're a better football team than the Patriots on paper. In fact, I've been saying that for a few years. Jets are on paper should be good, and then competitive good, and then they win at most 7 games. So I just should stop saying that. But they should get at least one against New England. They should definitely get at least one against Buffalo. Josh Allen has not played well against the Jets in his career, but not as good this year. I think they can get one against Miami. They lost a lot of pieces on defense. I think they got worse on defense. That offense is still going to be one of the highest scoring offenses in the league. Tua, I don't think he's anything special. I think he's overrated, but at least with Hill and Waddle guys around him, he's hard not to be really good. Now you had Odell Beckham Jr., who I don't think has a whole lot left, but A-Chain and Mostert in that backfield, and the whole offense is still there. They'll still score a lot of points. They might be able to grab one. You go towards the middle of the schedule. Pittsburgh, that could be a coin flip, on the road, something like football. Pittsburgh's a team that's always going to be competitive as long as Mike Tomlin's there. I mean, it's a quarter of the game. Again, they should win, but the Jets, they find a way to lose game. Just like, how did you manage to lose that game? Why are you the way you are, kind of thing. Week 11 home against Indianapolis on Sunday Night Football. Again, they're a better team than the Indianapolis Colts, but they're not a bad team by any means. Anthony Richardson, if nothing else, is very hard to game plan for. They're not a bad team. I mean, they should be a competitive team. That's kind of a coin flip. Then coming off the bye, play Seattle at home. Again, they're a better football team than the Seattle Seahawks. If they play Geno Smith, it would be nice to beat him after 2 years ago. He beat the Jets. And they blew up the Jets. That was Zach Wilson's second year of the year. It was just like, wow, this guy is bad at football. But they're a competitive team. Obviously, they got a new head coach this year, Mike McDonald, and Sim Howell going to take over Geno Smith this year. What's going on over there? So they should win. I think they win that game, but still a coin flip. And then Jacksonville. So they have a little Florida trip. Week 14, they'll be in Miami. Looking to go with Jacksonville. So just second straight road game. Wait, that game might be in London, actually. That game might be in London. Let me just double check that to see where that game is. That game might actually be in London. And that is in Jacksonville. Okay, so if it was in London, I would definitely say they're going to lose that game. All right, so it's in Jacksonville. So it's the second of the two back-to-back games on their Florida road trip. And the first one's a tough game against Miami. I don't think they're going to win that game. So that could be a tough game. Jacksonville, if nothing else, will be competitive. We don't know which version of Triple Orange we're going to get. Then you come home to play the Rams week 16. Again, they're a better football team than the Rams, but they have the offensive score with anybody. It all depends. If Aaron Rodgers is healthy and Tyrod Taylor starting, at this point the season's going to be over. Robert Sala's already have his bags packed. Nathaniel Hackett's going to already have his bags packed. Joe Douglas might already have his bags packed. Aaron Rodgers' career is probably going to be over at that point if he's not on the field, if he's hurt again. You never know. And you finish on the road against the Bills. If the that's a game, could have a lot of playoff implications. It could not. And then you come home to play Miami in week 18. It's a game. It could be Miami's playing for seeding when the Jets are done. It could be their way around. It could be for the division. So that's the Jets' schedule. So to me, I think they have 5 games they should definitely win. Games they're almost definitely going to lose in the 49ers and the Texans. I don't see them winning either game. They have 6 primetime games, and schedule guys said they always won, which is true. But if Aaron gets hurt in the first 8 plays this year, now you're screwed again. So you better hope it doesn't happen, dude. And then, so to recap, I'm most likely going to lose week 1 against the 49ers. I think they most likely lose week 9 against Houston Thursday night. I think they're definitely going to win these following games. I think they'll definitely be Tennessee week 2. I think they, at home against Denver, I have them winning. On the road against Minnesota week 5, I think they get that game. Arizona, although on the road week 10, I think they get that one. Right, it's a 4. They definitely win those 4 football games. They definitely get at least one against New England. They'll definitely get at least one against Buffalo. I think they'll go 3rd in the division. I think they'll split against the division. So that gives them 7 right there. That puts them at 7 and because you have the 2 I had them losing them in 3, so they put them at 7 and 5. So you have the 4 games, the 4 out of the division going to have them winning, the 3 divisions going to have them winning. I have them losing to Houston and San Francisco, the 3 division games. So you still have 5 more games. To me, they're all coin flips to me. That is, those games they play Pittsburgh on the road on Sunday Night Football Week 7. It's against Indianapolis at home Week 11 on Sunday Night Football. Home against Seattle Week 13 coming off the bye. On the road Week 15 against Jacksonville, wrapping up their Florida trip because they 14 on the road against Miami. They're probably going to lose. And then at home Week 16 against the Rams. So you think, all right, they'll probably either go 2-3 or 3-2, so which puts them at 9 or 10 wins. You think, all right, they should definitely win 10 games. But because of the Jets, they'll probably win 8. So I'm as much anguish and anger as the Jets have caused me over the years, especially last year. I expect it possibly to be an all-time high this year. Because Aaron Rodgers, he can still play as long as he's healthy. He's still a very good quarterback if he's healthy. You know, much better offensive line. You got really good weapons, good run game, a great defense. I don't love the coaching. I don't love the coaching staff, but with this team, it should be good enough to win 9 or 10 games again into the playoffs. But, the Jets, they'll go 7-8-9. Something will happen. So I am prepared for the worst and prepare for a lot of Jets fans for me because I made a bunch last year. I may make even more because of how much anguish they may cause me this season. But that's all I got for you guys today. Till next time, so long, and have a great day.